Hey guys, back for another video of the Ableton Master template. So once again, we've got a little bit of focus issue here. Let's see what's going on. There we go. Cool. So this is going to be the third video in the third day. The first day we went through many of the drum features. The second day we went through the bass. And now we're going to get into synth and stutter pads or stutter synths, whatever you would like to call it. And yeah, I'm going to dive in and give you a walkthrough of those tools that are in the master template. Once again, just in case you're not clear on what the master template is, what do we got here? Use, don't use, don't use. Over here, this is the master template, and all these folders are tools of the master template. Bass tools, samples, subs, synths, click tops, drums, crashes, loads and loads of drum loops here, more drum loops, all kinds of stuff here. All right, electronic drums here. We got kick creator, kick patterns, kick rack, general MIDI drum rack. I mean, you name it. It's just got tons and tons and tons of stuff. Filters and risers, effects, the in-key tool, which I think I'll go into tomorrow. Leads, noise pads we're going to get into today. Reverse scale rack, sends, stabs, stutter synths, we'll get into that, and synths, we'll get into that as well. And then waveforms, I think we'll get into that tomorrow. So loads and loads of tools in the master template, and I just want to share that with you. You can grab it now for 50 bucks off with the coupon code that's in the description, so check that out. And without too much further ado, let me get into the walkthrough for this section of the master template. Hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, welcome back to another video on the master template version 2.0. And I'm going to be going into some of the synth sounds. So that's going to be the synth, the leads, and the pads. And if I've got time in this video, I might get into the stutter synths as well, which is really, really cool. So let's go ahead and get started here. What we got here, we could start with the operator pad. So all we're doing here is just simply opening up the pad folder, and we pop this right in here. And here we go. We've got our macro control setup here, and this is just a few sounds for operator pads, but they sound really good. So let me show you what's what. So let's here's our chain. So if you notice over here, this chain selects the different sounds. All right, so I created 4 different pad sounds with the operator that I think you'll find pretty cool. So let's go ahead and play around with that here. What I need to do is just arm this track, and it's really cool. You can obviously set the attack, release, reverb decay time, reverb wet percentage, and then you've got your filter frequency. Pitch LFO. Loads of fun there. Glide time between notes. So I could set this to, let's just do 1 second. So every sound has these controls available just to give it more flexibility in a kind of sound design. And so that's the slow pad there. And here is the res pad. There you go. Next is our swirl pad. I could take the reverb off so you hear what it sounds like without as well, but I really like the added reverb on these pads. There you go. And then we got our thin pad. So there you go. Those are the operator pads, just one of the tools inside the pad folder of this whole master template that includes all of this fun stuff. All right, so next we'll get into our sampler pads. And in here we have 31 different pad sounds. So, and we've got the same kind of attack, release, reverb, decay. We've got an added phaser effect, filter resonance, and filter frequency. So let's see. Oh, I think I've got to back the frequency down. And I'll just kind of scroll through these sounds. Kind of a quiet one here. Nice little reverb tail if we want it. Check out the phaser. Pretty subtle, but works really nicely. And on to the next. Slow attack. And we'll keep going through. once again without reverb. The original sounds are still really, really nice. Interesting, different sounding synth there. So there you go. That's the sampler pads. And yeah, very versatile, great sounds, really, really easy to use. And that's another one of the tools in the pads folder. So next, let's go ahead and get into atmosphere. I'll go ahead and drag this in. Not a whole lot of sounds here, but just some cool extra sounds to play with. And I thought I would share some of this, so let's check out what we have here. All right. Fun stuff there. I'll take off the reverb so that we can hear them clean. Kind of a metallic sound there. So some interesting stuff there. Those are the atmospheres that I've just added. Just a whole new little section of new sounds available in the master template. Next, we can dive into leads, and we could start off with our operator leads. And of course, if I wanted to, I could drag in the effects chain. There's also a folder with loads of different effects right here. Really, really cool stuff. I'll get to that later, but yeah, we could just drag this in here. And what we've got is we've got 7 different effects chains, and we've got a chain selector as well. So yeah, we can. So we could actually mix and match if we want. We can kind of use little bits of more than one effect as well to get some really unique stuff. And then within each of these, you can see that there's macros that you could play with on each of these chains. So you could like really fine tune these as well. So really, really cool stuff. But I don't want to get too complicated here, just saying that you could dive deep if you want. So with that, that's how you can change just an original sound like this. Before, after. So now I'll just go through some of the clean sounds here. See how that sounds with this. And so forth. Get into some more. And so forth. So those are the operator leads. I'll get rid of that there. And now we'll get into the sampler lead sounds. Once again, all of this is in the Ableton Master Template version 2.0. It has not yet been released. Version 1 is available. But if you want to get on the waiting list, there will be a link where you can kind of just put in your email address so I know where to send an email and a discount code when it is officially released. And that discount code is only exclusive to people who sign up for the wait list. And that'll have kind of a limited time before we go fully public with this. But I'm really excited about what is happening with this. I'm real proud of the upgrade. I'm still very proud of the original as well. I just wanted to enhance it because I hadn't enhanced it in a number of years. So also, just so you know, this obviously we're in Ableton version 10.1, but you can use the master template all the way back to Ableton version 8.4. So it'll work all the way back to 8.4. All right. So let's check out the sampler leads now. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we've got like 77 sounds, so we've got a lot to go through. So. And with this, we've got our filter. We've got FM synthesis. Obviously attack, decay, sustain, and release. And we've got glide. So forth. So let's get back over here. And once again, these leads can be enhanced with some of the effect chains. So loads of really cool stuff from, kind of little, everything cuts through really nicely. That's what a lead does. But some of them are definitely dirtier than others. So those are the sampler leads as well. This here is just a lead click layer. This just adds a click on top. So you would actually use this as a separate track, and you would copy the MIDI from the track that you use the sampler leads on. So that's most of it for the leads. Let's get into some synths. And these are all sampled synths. And all these sounds are upgrades from the first version of the master template. So none of these sounds were in the first version. I've added these, and there's 25 really good synth sounds. I think you guys are like quite a bit. So let's get into it. So there you have it. Loads of synth sounds as well. Once again, they could be run through Dry. You could add the effects to them. Or you could just work with the reverb and reverb decay that's built into the instrument here. And yeah, so that is the synths. So with that, I wanted to dive into the stutter synths, which basically takes advantage of being able to stutter any of those sounds that you have heard in the other collections. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Actually, I've already loaded it. So what we need to do for this is jump over to the session window and open up our chopped synths here. And right here, this is where we have our different categories. So we've got sampler pads, operator pads, atmospheres, sampler leads, and synths. All right. So with all of this, what I'm capable of doing is I've created a stutter event that happens. So this tool will allow you to create stutters any way that you would like. So for example, if I just get this little drum part going here, and then I just play. Give me just a second here to arm this track. And I've got all these different patterns that come with the template. And then what we can do is I could chain select between these, and I could either have this by itself, this by itself, either of these by themselves, but if I go in between here, I could get both these first two sounds, for example. So if we come back to sampler pads, I could come over here now in the sampler pads, and now we've got the chain selector, so I could select between all these pad sounds here. So I could come over to atmospheres and do the same thing. Once again, we could change the rhythm. And come over here, sampler leads. And in case you're wondering, I'm just playing notes on the keyboard, and this is just chopping those pads up any way you want, you know, and you could actually come in. Also, this layer here adds like a little extra click, so you can mix the click in. So if I solo this part, you can hear when we're playing, you hear those clicks come in. So those extra clicks kind of help it cut through if it's not cutting through the mix. So that's what this level here is for. But yeah, what you can literally do, I could just, let me just duplicate this here. So we've got like a pattern here. I'll just create like a really simple new pattern. Just a little quick 1 bar. So let me just remove this. And it's this easy to create your own. And it doesn't really matter what note you're playing on, because this is just like a trigger, okay? So we can just fold here, I guess. There we go. So like, for example, just a very quick 16th note, right? And of course I can make those shorter so it stutters a bit more. Like so. So that's how easy it is to create your own stutter patterns, right? And then I could just take this and copy it over here so that we've also got the click for both. And then I would just play right here. Like so. And of course you can run that through any sound that you want here. And lastly, you can drop your own samples into the sampler, and you can play around with those as well. You would just bring your chain selector all the way up and then drop your sample in here. Maybe I have like, let me see if I've got some sort of a voice thing in my sample folder. Here we go. So these are tempo based, so you'd have to like kind of correct the tempo if you wanted to use them this way, which is not too hard to do. But anyway, let's just pull in an idea here. I am big. I am big. All right, so let's just take something like that. We can drag it in here. And then we can play it across the keyboard. And then we have this, once I start this, so as you can see, very, very easy to get some really interesting stuff all chopped up. And even if it's not in tempo, sometimes with the stuttering, it can make it off-tempo stuff really interesting and still make it sound like it's on the rhythm, but do some interesting things. So there's lots of fun stuff that you can do with that. So there you have it, guys. That is a number of more tools that are available in the master template. All right. So we'll get into a couple more things in another video. But yeah, we've kind of gone through a lot of the stuff. Maybe in the next video, we'll get into the in key tool, which is also very fun and cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this third video. And once again, if this is something that, all right, guys, I hope you got something out of that. This tool is available right now, the 2.0 version. So all the things that you've seen in this video and the previous videos for the last 2 days are all part of the Ableton master template. So once again, it was really a labor of love. I've spent a good 250 hours working on everything that's involved in this template, because I wanted to make something that anyone could put to use right away and have it useful for their own unique style of music. You know, the whole goal of having a template is to speed up your process. And as opposed to, for example, let me just come over here. As opposed to kind of having to go through synths and different, like let's say operator, with all this sort of stuff. In some cases, you can kind of preview the sounds, but a lot of times you got to drag it in and test that sound and test that sound. And with the master template, you could use just use a chain selector. Let me jump back over. Yeah, with the template, you could just use a chain selector, and you could have you know, scroll through sounds just like you would like a piece of hardware. With, you know, you choose the little knob and you just twist through the different sounds so you find what you want much faster. So that's one advantage of having a template like this. It has like a chain selector, so you can kind of go through, you know, 50 different sounds really quick to find what you're looking for, instead of having to drag every single one. So yeah, if you're interested in this, it is available, $50 off. Be available for a few more days as I share more about the master template. If you are interested, just check out in the description. There should be a link to it. Grab it, put in the coupon code AMT50. And if you're watching this on the replay, it may or may not still be available, the coupon code. So, you know, check it out as soon as you can, because I think I'm only going to have it up for maybe a week, maybe less. So yeah, there you have it, guys. But I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to jump on this at a discount while I'm sharing this information with you guys. And also feel free to tag a friend if you think this would be cool for them. That'd be very helpful as well. With that, guys, if you have any questions, you can feel free to drop it in the comments. But hey, Simon, you said thank you. Jacob says future. Awesome. Appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in here. I'll wait for just a second. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some water real quick, and I'll see if there's any questions on the master template or anything else, and I can dive into that. And if I don't have any questions when I get back, then I'll just sign off. So be right back. All right, let's see. Any questions? Nope, doesn't look like there's any questions. So with that, guys, feel free to hit me up personally if you want. Facebook.com/Jason Timothy, or you can hit me up in this group, whatever you want to do. Yeah, I hope you got something out of this video. Make sure to check out the other videos on all the drums and all the bass stuff, all those tools that are available as well. Simon says, you said with the chain, you can have up to 50 sounds. Do you need to load them? No, Here, let me give you a quick example, all right? So the sounds are already ready to go. So if I come over to my master template, let's just say I go into synths, right? And they're all going to have different amounts, or maybe even leads. Let's go into leads. So sampler leads, you just drag this in. Give it a second to load. While I'm doing the live stream, computer runs a little bit slower, heats up a little bit. Actually, let me take a look here, see how we're doing. Yeah, we're all right. And if anyone else has any questions, feel free to drop them while we're waiting to load this up. It'll go faster when you load them, as long as you're not live streaming. Let's take a look here. How annoying. Sorry, guys. I would stop this. I wonder if I can just stop it. Can you swap them out for ambient sounds instead of leads? Well, what you have over here, you have all different categories. So you've got pads and atmospheres and leads and synths and all kinds of different things. So you could actually drag the tool that you want. The point of this particular template is so that you already have a bunch of sounds that you didn't have before available to you right away. So as you can see here, we've got atmosphere sounds, bass sounds, lead sounds, pad sounds, stabs, stutter, synths, waveforms that you can turn into synth sounds, you name it, loads of different things. So it's not really about swapping them out. It's about, it's kind of like having a piece of hardware that has a bunch of sounds loaded and you can pick between, hundreds of sounds or whatever. It's kind of what I wanted here. So yeah, as you can see over here, if you're looking, we've got our chain selector, right? So if I, let's see if I can just solo this here. Cool. All right, great. So let me, yeah. So I could choose these sounds. I could also come in and drag in like some effect racks real quickly. And then I could just go through the different sounds, ready to go. Got FM synthesis, filters. And you can even turn like a lead sound into kind of more like a washy ambient sound just by turning up the effects. And so forth. So yeah, just super, super versatile what you can do. And that's just one of the tools that are in the master template. So yeah, basically it's made like that. The only thing where you can drag like your own sounds in would be the stutter synths. And you can go back through this video after this is done and check out the stutter synths. You could drag your own samples into that and cut them up any way you want. So otherwise, you would just drag in an empty simpler or sampler instrument. That's the thing, is you don't have to just exclusively use this template. You can, use whatever other instruments that you want, that, either third-party instruments or what Ableton already has. And yeah, so you could just drag in a simpler or something like that. And then drag, whatever sample you want into here from your own library and just add that. So it's just the master template is just a collection of tools, most of which have their own sounds ready to go. So I hope that that helps. Oh crap! I wasn't even showing my screen that whole time. That's really shitty. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, have a fantastic one. And here, actually, I'll real quickly just get into here. What's this? Don't use. All right. Yeah, so as you can see here, these are all the separate samples, and you could use the chain selector over here to choose your different samples, the sounds. Let me just... And those are just dry without any effect on them. You can, of course, add effects here, whatever you want to do. And then as far as, just using your own samples, you just drag in a simpler and drag into there. So I hope that clears that up for you. Sorry, I didn't switch the screen over. What a noob mistake. Anyway, guys, since I don't see any other questions, I'm going to get out of here. But I hope you have a fantastic day. Feel free to tag a friend if you think they might dig some of this information. If you're catching this later, this will be a replay. So you just come back in a few minutes after this ends, and you should be able to watch from the beginning. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for hanging out. Hope I didn't waste your time. Take care. All the information's in the description, so if you're interested in the master template, go ahead and grab it. Talk soon, guys. Take care.